Here's how to make a quick snowball effect in Blender. Firstly, I downloaded this amazing photo by Gonz DDL from Unsplash and mapped it onto a 2D plane. Then I opened the free version of Dust Particles Plus asset. Next, what you do is just right-click and copy the object, or Ctrl-C, and getting back to this scene, we can just right-click and paste it, or hit Ctrl-V. It gets imported with its own camera, which we can delete. Here we should see our particle sprites, and on hit and play we should see them in motion. Numpad 0 places us in the camera view. Now I will just nudge our particle system in place by pressing G and then S to scale. We can check it in the edit mode as well. Now the placement of the particle system seems more or less okay. We just need to check that it doesn't penetrate the flat image. So I'm moving it slightly closer to the camera. And getting back to the compositor. To see it clearer, the UIs can be turned off in the viewport. All the settings are in the modifiers tab, and we can start off by assigning the correct camera, which is this one. So the sprites are facing the correct direction. Then to fill in our snowball with particles, we can go ahead and increase the amount to about 2000. The motion is getting pretty crazy, so I'll stop the particle system by hitting pause. That is better. Now tweak the size to your liking, and we can adjust the size gradient for slightly more realism. Now version 1.1 of Dust Particles Plus has enabled Spherical Fade checkbox, and the controls to adjust the size of the sphere and the softness of the fall-off. By using these controls, we can line it up with the spherical shape of whatever spherical we have in our scene really easily. Then we can play with the shaders and assign the diffuse translucency shader, for example, to see a little bit of darkening where the light doesn't hit our object. Generally, just some interaction with light. The one thing that doesn't allow this snow effect to line up with the environment is the color, of course. So I'll push the base color towards the greenish tones of the environment, and then adjust the hue, saturation and value variation to give it slightly more interest. Let's skip Shimmer for a moment and go straight to the Random Movement tab. Swoosh, it is so chaotic, so let's adjust the speed first. And then the lower roughness could be slightly more believable, as for the motion of the particles within the snow globe. Probably followed by the tweak to uniqueness, which at the lower values help to simulate the fluidity of the motion. You know, as if the particles are suspended in some kind of a fluid, which may or may not be what you want actually. Finally, to drive this effect home, I will add a lot of shimmer. The speed doesn't have to be as erratic, and I think it's best to set the strength pretty high. Then, if you want to add even more punch and even more glow at the later stages, feel free to activate Emission on top of the diffuse translucency shader. These two can work together. The emission strength doesn't have to be dramatic. Alright, now it's time to give it a quick compositing pass. Or post-processing, in other words. We need to click Use Nodes and set the real-time compositing mode to Camera or Always to make sure it displays in the real-time viewport. Now we can throw in the glare effect, or any other effect for that matter, but I'll start with the simple star glow effect. I will increase the threshold to thin it out ever so slightly, so it's just a few sparkles here and there. And then I will duplicate this node and change its mode to fog glow this time. I want these fireflies of the particles to go swell a bit. So something like that. I think that looks fantastic already. The last tweak that I will do is reduce the size ever so slightly. A quick tip, the domain can be rotated, and the rotation can be animated. Little adjustments like that really help to add the fluid feeling to the animation, if that makes sense. So this is it. The only thing left by now is just render the animation out with motion blur and some Chianti. Thank you for watching. That was Gleb Alexandrov for CreativeShrimp.com. You can find all the links in the description, and I just wanted to ask you really quickly, what do you want to see next?